Marvelous Cave Story. A St. Joseph, Missouri correspondent of the St. Louis Republican, says that a wonderful cave has been found in the bluffs about a mile above St. Joseph, which has been explored by some of the leading citizens of the place. Provided with all things necessary, they entered the cavern about 10 a.m., and were gone until 4 p.m., when they returned, expressing the greatest wonder, and relating marvels too strange almost for credence. Before proceeding very far they came to a vast, splendid chamber, whose ceilings and sides were adorned with various stalactites of every form and hue, and transparent in their brightness. Fish, beasts and human forms were present by this brilliant accretion, and massive curtains of it, brilliant in hue, were pendant from the ceiling and hung heavily around the walls. Passing through this vast chamber, they found themselves in a sort of grotto, whose sides were formed of crystal columns and whose arched ceiling resembled a gorgeous bow of diamonds. Emerging thence, they beheld another hall vaster than the first and more gorgeous in all of its appointments. Here were niches, columns, recesses, fountains, all arranged as if by hand of some great artist, and what was stranger still, a sort of low melody seemed to fill all the space. The last they attributed to the murmur of a crystal streamlet, which leapt from a portion of the wall, and ran into a recess over glittering pebbles. On one side was a raised platform of pure white marble, extending the entire length of the room, and on this platform they discovered a human skeleton of gigantic size, and in excellent preservation. Its length, from head to feet, was 38 feet 6 inches. They could not measure the circumference of the head, but it was immense. They should imagine about 6 feet. 2 of the teeth were dislocated, and these they brought to town, and I have seen. They are now on the counter of the office of the Pacific Hotel, for general inspection. One of them is 10 inches in circumference, and the other is about 6. It is almost impossible to imagine an animal large enough to use such masticators.
Posted in www. Missouri Ghosts. net/Old Devil Worship Caves. HTML. I have lived in St. Joe all my life. As a kid my parents did a lot of fishing up there, and now as adult, I do too. I have been inside the caves many times and been there at night and done videotaping for shits and grins, but one night me and my cousin went up there late and we was walking through the caves and we heard the unmistakable voice of a man say, "Please help me." It repeated this 3 or 4 times. We looked with our flashlights and we know the voice came from a blocked-off chamber in the cave. This was around 8 years ago. And about 3 weeks ago I decided to go on a fishing trip up there on the river. It was about 8 p.m. when I got up there. I got set up and was having a good time fishing. It was around 10:30 when I heard a woman talking in the timber between me and the car. I called out, "Who's up there?" I got no answer, so I thought I was hearing shit. Well, around 12 p.m. I decided to burn out. I was tired, so I packed everything to the car and I was letting my lantern cool down before I put it in my trunk. I walked up to the driver's side and reached in to turn on my headlights. When I did, I saw a woman in a white dress. She was maybe 100 feet from my car. She walked towards the railroad tracks and disappeared just like that. I was totally freaked out. I threw my lantern in the car and was gone. I know this, I won't be doing any fishing by myself up there anymore. P.S. You guys need to make a column on Bluff Woods. There's some weird stuff down there in those holes.